Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are having a lovely day. As you can see by the title of this video, we are going to be building a starter house in The Sims 4. And I did actually build this in Willow Creek on one of the starting lots. This was the Daisy Hovel lot. And I think this one has okay lighting, that's why I chose it. But I am starting out here making the shell. I did end up bulldozing the shell about 3 or 4 times, just trying to figure out a way to do something different that I normally don't do on starter lots. But this house ends up being just 1 bed, 1 bathroom, and it's definitely just for a single sim or a couple just starting out in the world. And I did manage to get a computer and a TV in this starter house. So I'm very happy with what we have achieved. As you can see, I'm just starting on the little details outside, creating the porches, and we do one in the front and then one on the side of the lot, which I normally don't do. I normally put the porches right in the back. But I thought it would be cute to do one on the side for this build, so I'm very happy with how that turned out. I did want to put a sliding glass door in the back on this porch, but it actually went into the bedroom and there just wasn't a lot of room when I was furnishing the bedroom to do the sliding glass door. So I ended up changing it to just be a regular door. But I think it still turned out okay in the end. Okay, so here is where you're gonna watch me struggle for a really long time, trying to figure out which windows would look best on this house. I at first wanted ones with shutters, and I was leaning towards those cottage living ones, but they just didn't give the vibe that I was hoping for in Willow Creek. So I ended up using the cats and dogs ones, which will be coming up here in a second. But these base game ones were definitely a strong contender. I really like these windows, but I feel like they just don't have a lot to them. But yes, I did end up using cats and dogs around here as well as the doors, which I really like. Here's me just going through all of the different packs, trying to figure out which windows to do. I'm serious, this took me probably like 15 minutes just to do this. There we go, we finally chosen what windows we want to do. Again, this is a very small house, so I didn't add too many windows to the build. But I definitely think this house has room to grow. So if you want to start out here and add on, there's definitely room to do that. I also linked my gallery name in the description box below if you want to download this starter house. As you can see, we put that porch door into the kitchen at first, but then I didn't have any room in the kitchen, so I do end up moving it to the bedroom. I was gonna go for a bold color on the outside, and then I ended up going with this tanny peach color, which actually I don't mind. I don't think I've ever used this in the game before. So we are almost finished with the outside for now, besides all of the decor that we go back and do later, as well as the landscaping. But we'll be moving to the inside soon. I'm really happy with the inside here. I feel like I did try to use things that I never use, and it turned out really great. There's not a specific theme for this house, but I did use a lot of greens and blues in here, which I really like. Also struggled just to figure out what decor we can put in without overdoing it and not spending too much money. I don't know about you guys, but I always do the floors and then the walls first before I decorate and put furniture in. I know a lot of people actually do the opposite, which I think is kind of fun. I don't know why, I just like to have all the colors picked out in the floor and ceiling and walls before I actually start to fill it with furniture, because I feel like it just gives me a better idea of what the vibe I'm going for is. But my favorite room in the house is definitely the bedroom. I love the color theme that we chose in there, which is that green, that light green, and there's a rug that just fits perfectly with that, so I really liked how that turned out. I normally just start with the bathrooms in all of my builds because they're the simplest and there's not much that goes into them. At least I don't spend a ton of time on them, so here's me doing the bathroom really quickly, and then I go back later and add some decorations to it. Next, moving on to the kitchen area. Again, we started out with that door in there, but I ended up moving it just so we can have some more space. I also picked the cheapest appliances, but I do end up going back and swapping it because we do have actually quite a bit of money left over, which I didn't think we would have, so that's why I was just trying to use the cheapest stuff in the beginning. And then we are about to move on to the living room area. I couldn't fit a dining table in this room. I was trying to figure out if I could, but it just was so tight. I was gonna put a table and some chairs right where I put that little stand, but the chair just went into the door too much. And I, for some reason, put shoes there in the beginning, cluttering a little bit, and I was like, I can't clutter right now because I just don't know if we have enough money. So that's the one thing that I put in as far as like clutter, and then I was like, why did I do that? Because I don't even know if I'm gonna have enough money to finish this whole house. But as you can see, I did manage to get a TV in this house, and I ended up being able to upgrade it in the end, like I did the appliances, because we had more money than I thought we would. In the living area and the kitchen, I went for this kind of brown tan color scheme with blue, and I actually really like how it turned out. I don't normally use like tans and browns in the game. I normally use brighter colors, so it was a little bit different, but I really like how it turned out. So we're just finishing up the living room. We do come back and kind of decorate it a little bit more, but again, we couldn't really fit the dining table. I did try even on the back of the couch area, but it just didn't look right, and you kind of have to squeeze, so I just decided to leave it out. I was also trying to find some cool artwork that we can put together in this living room, but I just really didn't find anything that I liked. Even this painting that I ended up keeping, I don't really know if I love it. Okay, moving on to the bedroom. This is my favorite room that was in this house. I really like the color scheme of it, and I just like how it came together. So I picked this bed and these tiny nightstands, which I just love. I use those in every bedroom that I ever build. And then this rug that I put in this room is one of my favorite rugs that we have in the game now. I just think it's so beautiful, and I just love the colors of it. Again, we're doing that green, blue, yellowish vibe, kind of tans, stuff like that in this house. I also struggled with what desk to put in there. I wanted to be the same color as the wood on the bed and the nightstands, but there wasn't anything that matched like super perfectly, and this one, the legs are a bit darker. Honestly, I didn't mind in the end. I was like, it still looks okay, so I just kept it. We are nearing the end of the inside decorations, and I ended up just swapping the door and the window so that I could fit this curtain a little bit better. But after this, I kind of move on to the outside just to make sure we have enough money for all of the landscaping that we want. I also really like this foundation. I feel like it's just something that I would always see in the houses where I grew up, but it just never works in my builds. I always try to use it, and I just really don't ever like how it looks, but I think it is really cute, so I want to try to incorporate that at some point in my builds. But yes, I'm just putting a couple of trees down, and I'm getting a path from the front area to the back, and this is the first time I've ever done terrain paint in one try and I didn't have to erase it, because normally I hate how it looks the first time that I do it, but this one actually turned out okay first try. And then I'm putting just some planter boxes, and I get a little seating area. Can't forget about the trash can. And I just really love how this outside area turned out. It's super simple, just a little table with some chairs and a little patio area in the back, but I really like it for a starter area. And then I'm gonna start working on the landscaping. Oh, and then here's when I went in and actually got better appliances, just because we had more money than I was expecting. I really did not spend a lot in the house apparently, so got a better fridge and stove, and then I actually upgrade both the TV and the computer and end up putting a lot more decor in the house because we just had so much extra money. And then I am going to go back in the bathroom and add some more decor as well. And then I kind of just finish up on the outside of the house. I do end up putting a rocking chair out here. I picture maybe someone here knits, which is one of my favorite hobbies in The Sims. Again, some more planter boxes, so maybe you have a gardener sim living here. You can really do whatever you would like. I also love these wind chimes. I never actually use them in my builds, and I was looking through the decor, and I saw them and I was like, these are so cute. I don't know why I never use them. So I ended up putting one of those in the back as well. And then I upgraded the bathroom stuff as well. See, we still have 2,000 simoleons left. I don't know how I managed to have so much money left in this starter house, because I felt like I was spending a lot of money when I first started, but I guess it is a pretty small build, so that's why. I ended up switching out this plant because I just didn't want to have two of the same, and I feel like that tall, square, skinny one fits really well in bathrooms. I always use that in my bathrooms in my builds because it just looks really nice. And then I ended up getting a coffee table because we had some extra money and kind of filled out the living room a little bit more, so I really liked that. And then you'll see me add a chimney to the side. We don't actually have a fireplace in this house, but I still think it looks good from the outside, and it also just kind of breaks up that really long wall that I only have one window in because of the bathroom there. So I think that worked out pretty well. And then here is where we kind of transition back to the outside of the house to do the landscaping. I kept it pretty minimal on this house just because there's not a lot going on. It's very simple. So I only put a couple of different flowers and then just those low-lying bushes with some of these little flowered, which I never use those, so I think it turned out well. And then I just put terrain paint over the flower area and then underneath the path, so it looks like it's a part of the landscaping. Some people can do some really cool stuff with the landscaping and the plants. I am just not really that type of person. I normally put a couple things in and call it good because I just don't know what I'm doing. But I think it looked okay in the end. Okay, the last thing I do is just use this terrain paint around the flowers and the bushes and then the path. I just feel like this always makes your builds look a little bit more real, and it just makes it kind of blend in everywhere a little bit better. But as soon as I am done with this, I'll kind of give you just a brief overview of the house one more time just so you can see it fully finished. So here we are. So you can see this is the outside. Again, I'm very happy with this. It's very small, but it looks so cozy. And then when you come in the house, you go right to the living room. There's like a tiny entrance area, kitchen, bathroom off to the left, and then in the back is the bedroom. Thanks for watching. Leave a like down below.